We are waking up those wet conditions. We saw record-breaking rainfall yesterday across Anchorage and many areas of South Central. Saw Sunday a very wet one. We saw just over 3/4 of an inch of rain in Anchorage. Temperatures across the state holding in the 40s and the 50s for many areas. We're 49 in Palmer, 49 as well in Ketchikan. Areas of southeast, while we can't rule out some stray showers, will largely stay dry through at least the middle of the week. And then we'll begin to see more of that rain building in across the panhandle. But as far as this morning, you can see the ongoing rain that has been with many areas of South Central. We're going to continue to favor that as we head through the next couple of days. So far this morning, now yesterday we saw just over 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. So far this morning, we've seen, or since midnight, we've seen just under right around 5/100 of an inch of rain in Anchorage, over 1/10 of an inch in Wasilla, approaching 1/10 of an inch in Kenai. A lot drier for coastal areas. You will fare much drier today to start off the morning, but towards the late afternoon and early evening hours, coastal regions will begin to tap back into that rainfall. As far as this morning, though, most of the rain drifting north into Anchorage as well as the valley and out towards Prince William Sound. And this is an overall wet weather pattern, feeling kind of fallish outside, and that trend will stay with us for a good portion of this week. It's almost looking very likely that as we head from Wednesday on into Thursday, many areas of South Central could see 1 to 3 inches total of additional rainfall. And you can see that rain extending north into the interior. More rain as you head out towards southwest Alaska as well as into the Aleutians. And this is going to set the stage for a wet week ahead for many areas of southern Alaska. We'll see some dry time, but the overall trend continues to favor ample moisture building in across South Central. Now, coming up in my full forecast, we'll be talking about this fallish weather pattern. Rain could top 2 inches in Anchorage, and we do have a wind advisory starting overnight into tomorrow. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast coming up.
The Anchorage Police Department has identified the drivers killed in the multi-vehicle crash on the Glen Highway Thursday. APD has identified them as 73-year-old Robert Tweedo and 37-year-old Donna Reisinger. It says a Ford F-150 crossed the median into the southbound lane, hitting 3 other cars, including a Kia Soul. According to APD, Reisinger was the driver of the Kia. A juvenile passenger in the Kia was taken to the hospital for life-threatening injuries. APD says the drivers of the other cars were unharmed. A Wasilla man is dead after he was involved in a pursuit and crash, which came after a report of domestic violence. That's according to Alaska State Troopers. It says a call reporting a domestic violence incident at a home in Wasilla came in Saturday evening around 6:30. It was reported to troopers that the man, who was later identified as 57-year-old Cecil Nelson of Wasilla, was intoxicated and left before officers arrived. AST says when Nelson's car was located and a stop attempted, Nelson led troopers on a short, high-speed pursuit where he lost control on a curve, went off the road, and was thrown from the vehicle. He died at the scene, and the investigation is ongoing. A man found guilty of committing child sex abuse is dead after a shooting with state troopers near Whittier. The Department of Public Safety says Phil Phillips was wanted after failing to appear in court. Joe Allgood has the details of the manhunt and the moments that led to the shooting in Whittier.
Behind me is the boat that Phil Phillips, a wanted criminal, tried to escape on. Right now, it's tied to this Alaska Wildlife Troopers boat after they shot him on Thursday.
Phillips failed to appear in court in Palmer this week, where a jury found him guilty of child sex abuse. But not long after the verdict, he was killed in a standoff in the Whittier area. In June, the Department of Law says he sold his house, sold his truck, and bought a satellite phone with an international plan. On the first day of trial, he fired his lawyer. And when he failed to appear on the last day, the court issued a warrant for his arrest, and troopers put out a wanted alert, bringing the chase to Whittier, where locals we talked to said he had been seen preparing the boat days earlier. On Thursday, people said they saw unmarked police vehicles around town. When troopers located him on his boat, they say he refused to surrender, leading troopers to use chemical agents. Phillips then donned a gas mask and ballistic body armor, according to troopers, and pointed his gun in their direction. That's when he was shot by at least 2 members of the SWAT team.
DPS says that no officers were injured on Thursday, and those involved in the shooting have been placed on administrative leave for 7 days, which is their standard policy. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Well, we now know the name of the Alaska State Trooper who fatally shot a 20-year-old Fairbanks man early last week. Alaska State Troopers say Trooper Sergeant Brent Hatch fired the shot that killed Thomas Aquino early last Tuesday morning. Troopers say the incident started when a trooper tried to stop Aquino's vehicle for equipment violations near Noble Street and Airport Way. They say Aquino did not stop and a short pursuit ended on a dead-end road. According to troopers, Aquino then drove toward Hatch, who fired his weapon. The Alaska Bureau of Investigation is now handling the case. A walk path along the Chena River in Fairbanks is being discussed, but officials are waiting for a lower price tag to move forward. Alex Bengal spoke with the Fairbanks North Star Borough Mayor about what this new pedestrian route could mean for the community.
Between Pioneer Park and the Carlson Center, a footbridge across the Chena River may one day connect with a new pathway leading 1,600 feet along the north side of the river to Pega Road.
It could be a real treasure for this community.
In development for more than a decade, officials with the borough and Fast Planning have seen community support for the project.
The Chena River is an absolute wonderful asset of our town, so Festival Fairbanks has shown up talking about their excitement for it. People in the past have been excited for it.
But right now, planners are balking at a $7 million price tag.
That is too expensive. We are looking at alternatives that cut that price in half or maybe even less.
At issue is whether the path will be made as a boardwalk, whether it will be level with the surrounding area, and how high it will need to be built to avoid floodwaters.
We're waiting to hear back from the Department of Transportation on more specific different designs and the prices. You know, the $7 million that's increased sixfold over the last decade is too much for us right now, but there's a lot of other alternatives that can still get the good use of the river.
Hopkins expects to hear more from the Department of Transportation this summer, and depending on when the project can be funded, he said he hopes to see construction begin in the next 2 years. Alex Bengal, Alaska's news source.
About 100 volunteers spent a day off Friday giving an Anchorage youth homeless shelter a much-needed makeover. Those volunteers from Widener Apartment Homes rolled up their sleeves at Covenant House. They painted, deep cleaned, landscaped, upgraded lighting, built shelving, and organized storage rooms. It's part of Widener Cares, the company's annual day of service. Covenant House says the work will help make the space more welcoming.
They're doing some really, really lovely things. They're building new shelving for storage rooms. They're clearing out and organizing storage rooms. Lots of things that have been on our wish list for a while.
Covenant House helps children and young people experiencing homelessness 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The Bear Paw Festival wrapped up Sunday, and this year it introduced a new tradition. Jace Bertrand spoke with organizers to learn about the new Bear Paw Flea Market.
It is a rainy day here in downtown Eagle River as the Bear Paw Festival enters its last day, but it's not enough rain to ruin the fun for Alaskans, nor is it enough to ruin a brand new feature of the fair.
There's some sign pieces, but I'm pretty sure there's a sign.
The Bear Paw Festival marked its 41st anniversary with a new addition on Sunday, a flea market.
The rain has deterred us a little bit, but we have vendors, or we have folks that maybe they cleaned out their grandma's hope chest, maybe they cleaned out their closet, maybe they found the toys that they were hoping would go away from their kiddos, and just having them be able to sell those things.
A mix between a swap meet and a farmer's market, festival goers were invited to bring old items they no longer need or want to sell to new owners.
You can bring down whatever you'd like. We just ask that it's not a purchasable, like it's not something you're selling like earrings or things like that.
Festival director Kristen George says the market is an opportunity to connect different generations of Alaskans.
Eagle River is an old soul, and this is an opportunity to make that old soul come to life.
While the rain may have kept some buyers from making their way to the festival, George says she's confident the market is here to stay.
I truly think this is something that's going to get some legs, and it's going to grow. We had tons of people asking about it, about coming down to participate. So I think that that's a really great temperature of the community, that they're looking for those things.
A new addition to a treasured Eagle River tradition. Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, fire safety in a state known for wildfires is a must. We take a look at how some kids are learning fire safety coming up.
And we continue to hold on to wet conditions across South Central and many areas of the state, gripping that wet weather pattern this week. I'll have more on that. But first at sunrise, 4:48 in Anchorage, 5:39 in Bethel. Your full forecast is next.
It's still a rainy day here in Anchorage. I'm gonna step down to show you just how much is in this parking lot. Not too much, honestly, but we might see more throughout the week. And you can see behind me, the roads are still wet today. And definitely a reminder to pay attention when you're driving. You don't want to hydroplane. I know my drive to work today was a little scary in some spots with those ruts, so you want to make sure you're looking out for that. And I know there was a bunny over here too that was hiding out from the rain, but I think they might have gone over. I know Aaron, Kristen, it looks like this rain might be continuing on through the rest of the week.
Yeah, just wet and soggy out there. Aaron, what can we expect?
More rain. That is what we are going to be watching here over the next couple of days. Well above average precipitation this week for many areas of the state. We've also got a wind advisory that will go into effect for Anchorage for all elevations as we head from 4 a.m. tonight on through tomorrow evening for winds up to 65 miles per hour, or at least those max wind gusts. And as we head through this week, we'll see 1 to 3+ inches of rain likely for all of South Central. So it's going to be an exceptionally wet week as we head out the door each and every morning. We've got those temperatures anywhere from 34 in Utqiagvik down to coastal regions of South Central where we're sitting in the lower 50s. We're holding on to some cooler conditions across a good portion of the state. The two warm spots, Kotzebue as well as Fairbanks, coming in with those temperatures sitting in the mid 50s. Now, while things are fairly active across a good portion of the state, the one place you want to go if you want to escape most of the rain is out towards southeast. While we can't rule out some stray showers the next couple of days, it's really not until Wednesday, Thursday before we tap into more of that rainfall. But you can see rain gripping South Central, lifting north into the interior. More rain as you head out towards southwest Alaska. And our next system we're watching is out towards the Aleutians, and that's going to arrive as we head into the overnight on into our Tuesday. And we're talking about exceptionally wet weather looking likely to continue as we welcome in the overnight hours on into Tuesday. So the overall weather pattern showing that ridge that we did see, that brief ridging towards the tail end of last week that brought that nicer weather, that is shifted out towards southeast, driving in those that ridge of high pressure, keeping things fairly quiet. But notice here over the next couple of days, really through a good portion of this week, we are going to be locked in place with this trough, and that is going to keep more of the same weather. It's kind of a fallish storm weather pattern that we do have across the state. Notice the overall trend, though, as we head through the rest of this week. We've got that jet stream lifting northeast right into South Central. So that's going to drive in ample moisture to the region. While we are expecting to see some gusty conditions tomorrow across South Central, we will try to see that rain shadow win out for the first part of the day, but the amount of moisture that's going to stream into South Central should be able to overcome that rain shadow effect as we are going to continue to see more of that rain building into the state. So this morning you can see the rain showers across the state. This is what we're going to be watching as we head into the overnight hours, as that's going to lift to the northeast and build into South Central. And we're going to see that rain once again steadily increase as we head into the overnight hours on into Tuesday. And this is just going to come into several waves of rainfall. We'll see some dry time later this afternoon and into our Tuesday night on into Wednesday. We're not talking about a widespread all-day, several-hour rainfall potential for your Monday, but as we welcome in Tuesday, that likely will change as we tap into more of that rainfall potential. So notice from today on through the middle of the week, you can see anywhere from 1 to 3+ inches of rainfall is expected for many areas of South Central. The Copper River Basin may fare a lot drier, but still expected to see the potential for anywhere from 1/2 inch to about 1 inch of rainfall. And then we've got that wind advisory that will build into South Central as we welcome in the overnight hours on into our Tuesday. You can see those gusts up to 65 miles per hour. Power outages will be possible. Those winds will increase on the Anchorage hillside and then drift down into the Anchorage Bowl as we head through the day tomorrow. That 7-day forecast showing the cooler weather staying with us. More of that rain to be expected with highs in the upper 50s and lower 60s.
Well, fire safety is important, and practicing fire safety is even more so. Knowing how to extinguish campfires completely, for example, it's just one of many skills that kids can learn at the Junior Wildland Fire Program. We sent Danny Tompkins out to learn a little bit more about what these kids are learning.
Kids are hard at work here at the BLM Campbell Creek Science Center, where they are currently doing a relay as part of the Junior Ranger Wildland Fire Program. And I'm here with Cecilia, who's going to tell us a little bit more about that program. Can you tell me what they're doing behind us?
Yeah, so the Junior Ranger Wildland Fire Program really gets kids interested in wildland fire and careers within not only the Bureau of Land Management, but general outdoor careers. And so they're kind of learning some of the skills that firefighters need in order to be safe outside and to help keep us safe.
Yeah, it looks like a very hands-on and fun experience. Can you talk about just the importance of this training, especially up here in Alaska?
Yeah, Alaska is very prone to a lot of wildfires, especially because we have a lot of public land spaces. And in order to keep us all safe, it is really a large community effort to make sure that you're taking your fires and actually extinguishing them completely, and also just managing all the fuel that you have around your home and around the land that you own and the land that you recreate in.
Yeah. And I know you guys have other programs going on. Can you talk about what else you've got going on this summer?
We have a lot of different programs. We have junior ranger programs, which are for ages typically 5 to 10. We have toddler programs, which are 5 and under, and we have adult programs and family programs throughout the whole summer, spring, winter, and fall. Our next one is on July 25th. We have a toddler program and a junior ranger gold panning program, which will be really nice. And we're hoping to get a lot of people out for those on some beautiful days out here.
Yeah, that's awesome. What do you hope that people take away from those fun courses here?
Well, it's one of those things where at the Bureau of Land Management and at the Science Center, we really want people to recreate responsibly and to know what options they have available to them. And so a lot of our programs are tied specifically to our mission statement and also to just having fun outdoors.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It looks like these kids are still out here working on fighting those fires and having a good time here today. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.